This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed Martial A-Holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial A-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, UFC 240 recap. UFC Covington versus Lawler Fight Week. Controversy with the MMA Holes. MMA news with the MMA Holes. Yeah. Wonderful. Did we fool you? We are here on the main channel tonight. The absolute motherfucking best channel in the world, the MMA Holes. We are here, we are live, and it feels good, Jesse, right?
Feels fucking great, Moss.
Wonderful,
God, I can just feel it coursing through my veins right now.
That's right.
Wonderful.
Welcome to the stream, friends. This is the MMA Holes Hour, episode number 85. And for those of you who are new and are like, why is she moaning and gurgling? That she does it every show. No, if you are new to this or if you're listening on Podbean and iTunes, you don't know what's going on. So I'm going to give you a quick recap of Saturday night, and then I'm going to tell you why we are still live here. Right? Let's do this, Jesse.
Let's do this, Moss. You tell the story.
All right. So
I love this story.
Yeah, it's a great story. So Saturday night, we streamed. It was an early stream. We went prelims, pre-prelims, all the way up until the main card, pay-per-view. We were having a blast, right?
Right. All the way up until the co-main event.
Yeah. We went all the way through Cyborg versus Spencer. We were just having a darn good time over here. And we were letting dragons loose. We hit 24,000 subscribers. I mean, that is fantastic. That's wonderful.
Wonderful.
We were celebrating. We were flipping off the UFC. And then, bink, done.
Yes.
Quoting Robin Black, bink, we were done. That was it. Shut down, dead. We looked over at the chat. We looked over at our stream. Red, done.
Right.
Goodbye.
Yes.
We were still live on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And we went on a little bit of a rant.
Well, you did. I cried.
Yeah, Jesse cried.
I left. You went on a rant.
Well, you didn't cry right away, right?
No. I had to hold it together because I had to get us back up.
Yes.
That was the most important thing. Get back up. Get back live. Right?
So the UFC struck us twice in 1 month for no reason at all.
Yes.
Okay. Complete false strike. Just threw it right into our faces. So Jesse scrambles onto the computer and gets it ready, loads it back up on the second channel.
Like a fucking pro.
And it was wonderful. And then we skyrocket and we got some decent views on the second channel.
Yes.
But it was basically us complaining and crying. Well, Jesse was crying.
Well, it was over. Like, I was getting over it as time went on, but it was emotional for me. It was a very heart-stricken moment.
Yeah, it was interesting. And if you missed it, go to Not the MMA Holes. You could watch us pissed off. So that happened. We barely even witnessed the Holloway versus Edgar fight.
Yes.
And Max Holloway wins by a decision. I think a lot of people aren't surprised. But yeah, Max Holloway gets the win.
Yeah.
And we asked the people on the internet, on YouTube, all around the world, we said, please, if there's anything that you can do. We showed a tweet that we put out.
Yes.
And we asked the people who were like, retweet this, share this, blast the UFC, and blast YouTube. this is ridiculous. This is the second time in 1 month. You know, we don't do anything wrong over here. We don't show the fights. We don't play the audio. We just react and have a good time. We had 3,000 people watching, 3,000 witnesses to a stream that just died.
Yeah.
So, long story short, the people responded. And because the community responded, we got our channel back the next day.
Woo!
Wonderful, wonderful.
I've never seen anything like it. Usually you have to put in for a retraction. You have to fight it. You have to wait 10 to 14 days, or you have to wait 3 months if you don't want to fight, if you're too scared to go legally.
Right.
We're not scared to go legally because we know we're doing nothing wrong.
Right. Now, I will say there were 3 emails we received. The first one saying that our copyright strike had been lifted, and then we got our channel back. That was the first one we received. And then we received one a couple hours later from YouTube saying, don't worry, you know, we've got this taken care of, blah, 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 right? This is the second email, and I'm not sure if you saw it or not.
Yeah, I saw it.
But we got a second email from them, which never happens with a YouTube counter-strike. And then we got a third email from the actual person who put in the claim that said, and I'm not sure if you saw that one, I read it this morning, who put in the claim.
I didn't see that,
and said, thanks for letting us know. We've taken care of it. We've retracted the claim. Let us know if you have any other questions or if you have any other concerns. Now, the person who put in the claim, I'm not going to get too far into it, but I lost my mind on them. I sent them a very, very heartfelt email. That wasn't the nicest email I've ever written in my life. Regardless, they lifted the strike, or they lifted their claim. And it was a situation that I'd never been in before when it comes to these strikes. But I gotta say, man, freaking A, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, the stress is the worst part. I've got pain shooting down my left arm right now as we speak. Like, I've had it since this happened. So, I feel like I'm having a fucking heart attack every fucking day.
Think about what's going on here. Okay, we're a community of people that love the sport. We watch it together. Some people, whether you pay for it or not, that's not our problem. Basically, we pay for every pay-per-view event. We react to it, and we hang out with you guys. So whatever way you're watching it, we don't care. That's not our problem over here, and we're not promoting not paying for these fights because we pay for each and every fight. And we had to pay for 2 pay-per-views this month, and we got struck both times. It makes no sense. So we are a bunch of fans that talk about a sport, that promote a sport on a regular, and the UFC just knocks us down over and over again. This company is something else. It really is something else. And I can go on a whole tangent and a whole rant about the UFC sucking, but I'm not going to do that right now. I am going to celebrate this community.
Yes!
I am going to celebrate the greatest MMA community on the internet. And the reason why I say that is we were the only ones that were hit. We were the only ones that weren't doing anything wrong that were hit. We get the biggest views for fight reactions. Joe Rogan is not doing it anymore. In fact, I threw out a tweet today to Joe Rogan saying, why aren't you live streaming anymore? Is the UFC telling you not to live stream? Without Joe Rogan in the mix, we're the team. Yeah. We are the group. Sure. This is the MMA show. This is the place that you go for fight reactions. That's where you go. Yeah. On top of our weekly shows. So this community getting together on Twitter especially, but all over the internet, got us our channel back. So I thank you very, very much to this community. I appreciate your support, and we're not backing down. We're going to keep this party going. We've been doing this for almost 3 years, and there is nothing that is going to stop us. So shout out to the freaking community, and let's drop some 50 likes. Let's do this. It's a freaking party. Everyone, let's beat the shit out of our ceilings to start the show. I've got 50 likes.
You got 50 likes. We got 50 likes.
MMA holds 50 likes.
I've got 50 likes.
You got 50 likes.
We got 50 likes.
MMA holds 50 likes.
I've got 50 likes.
You've got
50 likes.
We've got
50 likes.
MMA holds 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick.
So I just want to say something here. We are giving away the most, we still are giving everything away. We don't give a fuck. Tomorrow we're sending out like 7 shirts. We're doing a Patreon giveaway as well. Bruce Buffer's getting a shirt. Everyone's getting a shirt over here. So
we're sending out Bruce Buffer's shirt tomorrow.
Everyone, So, I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people, we're still doing the giveaways. We're still doing that. We're going to try to give it back as much as we possibly can because of everything that you guys and gals do. Yes. Now, let's talk about the UFC real quick here, and we'll get into the whole Cyborg thing and the news. Let's look at the payouts, Jesse.
Right.
Okay, let's go over here. And this is courtesy of, let's see, was this MMA Manifesto? Okay.
Sports Daily, really.
Thank you, MMA Manifesto. All right, let's go over here. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's look at these payouts. Okay, and let's see if this really adds up. Okay. You got to think Max Holloway is going to get paid the most, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So how much did Maxie Holloway get?
Max Holloway got paid $390,000, and if you split that up, it's $350 to show and $40K fight week incentive pay. So a total of $390,000.
Okay. So now, I mean, to some, that's a lot of money, right? To a guy that's defended the belt multiple times, arguably the greatest 145er to ever live,
right.
Fought a veteran, a main event. I think it's a little low, but okay. Now these are professional athletes on an event that is a pay-per-view. This is not like, I mean, this is pay-per-view here, and this is what he made, $390,000.
Yes.
Frankie Edgar made
$250,000 to show, $30,000 fight week incentive pay for a total of $280,000.
Okay, so Frankie Edgar making $280,000, veteran of the sport, former champion, blah 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 blah.
Fair.
Cris Cyborg, what do you make?
$70,000 to show, $70,000 win bonus, and a $5,000 fight week incentive pay for a total of $145,000.
Cyborg, arguably one of the greatest female champions of all time, and yes, she did lose her belt to Amanda Nunes, but look at her resume. Cyborg brings the numbers. Mm-hmm. Cyborg has a huge following.
Right.
People love her, and she is one of the biggest when it comes to females. She is the draw.
Right.
$145,000. All right, so now we're going to scroll down. All right, there's a bunch of people over here, and someone really stuck out. Okay, someone who fought Cris Cyborg. Right. Her name is Felicia Spencer. Now, did I pass her? Where the fuck is she? Okay, there she is.
Felicia Spencer, yes.
Felicia Spencer.
Yes.
The co-main event of the evening, and I have to say this. Oh shit, fuck me.
Come on, boss.
Why does that happen? This fight, Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer, was fire.
It was amazing.
It's a great fight.
I mean, the chin on that girl.
Yeah, well, yeah, she does have some chin. But Nico Price, hello. What the fuck am I doing? Yeah. So look how much Felicia Spencer made.
$14,000 to show, $3,500 fight week incentive pay for a total of $17,500.
Now, some people think Felicia Spencer. They think,
who the fuck is that guy?
Well, she fought Cris Cyborg the co-main event on a pay-per-view.
Right.
Now, you go back to the other numbers before, Max Holloway and Frankie Edgar. I think they all made too little, right? But then you look at this, and it's fucking out of control.
There's $127,500 pay gap between Cyborg and her opponent, Felicia Spencer.
Okay, now
$127,500.
Now, and that's with Cris Cyborg being underpaid
right.
on the last fight of her contract. Now, you can make an argument, the managers got to get them better. They shouldn't sign the contract if they don't want to get paid that little, right? You can make that argument, and I get it. And if the UFC can get away with it, so be it, right? The UFC gets away with fucking murder. It is unbelievable what the UFC gets away with. If you think about what happened this past weekend, how they're attacking fans' channels for promoting their product for free, and then how much they pay these fighters after an huge ESPN deal that they signed. They got money coming out of their ass, people laughing their asses off, putting together these fights. Fighters that enter this octagon and risk their lives could get brain damage in there. This is how much they pay their fighters.
Maybe Felicia Spencer was just like, you know what? I'm fighting Cyborg. Fuck it. I'll take the pay because this is good for my name.
That's exactly what she did. $17,000.
More importantly, $127,000 difference.
I mean, listen, I understand the difference with Cris Cyborg, but if you even look at Cris Cyborg's pay, and this is hysterical, she made more than 5 people on the card, Felicia Spencer, and then there were 16 people on top of her that made more. 16! Right. She was the co-main event, and 16 fighters made more than her. The UFC What a beautiful place to work, right? The beautiful UFC, the Performance Institute. Come there and train.
This just goes to show the selfishness and the greed that is the UFC. The UFC is all about business and they're all about money. They shut down YouTube channels who they deem as whatever, God forbid, threat to them because people actually want to watch a reaction more than their actual live streams because they don't want to pay for that shit. But they can't even pay their fucking fighters fairly.
It's insane.
That should show you where the problem is. Chrome
to Your Dome says, Moss, this is only her second fight in the UFC. And she got paid 17. She's a professional athlete. She's at the top of the game. She's
co-main event fighting Cris Cyborg.
Fighting Cris Cyborg.
She should have gotten paid more.
I love you, Chrome to Your Dome, but sometimes I think you had too many shots to the dome. I don't know. Let's see what the chat says about this. What do you think about the UFC?
Mark Jackson says someone said Cyborg looks like a goblin with lipstick. Whoa, that's horrible. Greg Blaze says she got what she deserved. She's a glorified dishwasher. Man, you guys are tough. And Eternal Oscar de la Hoya was right. Ebs Rock, you guys are going to get another strike if you keep this up. Keep what up? What the fuck are we doing?
Well, that's the thing. You don't do nothing wrong, you get a strike. That's how it works, right?
If you do everything wrong, then they don't care.
Yeah.
T-Bird Boy says that's about 12 grand in English money. Dan says, not true, Mark. She doesn't wear lipstick. Law Vigo says, Vlad, she got her ass beat anyway. LOL.
She did get her ass beat, but I got to say this. Even though she really didn't win a round, she did look good. Yeah. There were times in that fight when she came in with those elbows, I don't know if it's like a Superman punch mixed with an elbow kind of thing. What is it? It's
this. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead. What do you? No, she went she was like this. She was like, I don't. She said like this. Anyway, she hit Cyborg with an elbow early, sliced her head open, and that's what she had to deal with the rest of the fight. She can clearly take a punch, Felicia Spencer. And I got to say this, I want to see another Felicia Spencer fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see her fight again. With that being said, let's move over to this. Now, this is the company that Cris Cyborg works for.
And this is her boss.
This is her boss, yeah. Now, Cris Cyborg posted this on Instagram. This is the last fight of her contract, and we're going to get to if you guys think, and gals think, that she should resign. Shout out to @Cris Cyborg.
I said, when I saw her at the MMA Awards, she looked like Vanderlei Silva in a dress and heels. And she did. Didn't she not? Who wants to dispute that she didn't look like Vanderlei? She got up and she was like, walking up the stairs.
Okay. I don't know if you guys got to see it. It's very small on the screen.
It's horrible because Cris Cyborg's such a likable, a likable gal.
Oh, I thought you were going to say guy.
This is number one bullshit.
Yeah. I love Cyborg. She's my favorite. I fucking love her. But seeing something like that, man, it sucks. It's cool that she posted it though to kind of bring light to the people she's working for.
Now we are not saints over here, right? We've made fun of Cyborg. We've said, yeah, she's probably got a dick and she has a deep voice, and
this is number one bullshit.
We did the whole number one bullshit for forever. And listen, we were guilty of making jokes about Cris Cyborg.
Well, you are.
But you are too.
I've never made a joke about Cris Cyborg.
Yeah. So listen, we're not saints here. I'm not saying we're freaking saints over here. And she does walk and talk like a man, but I like Cris Cyborg. This is her boss, right?
Right.
This is
She's being belittled by her boss.
Now, I don't think this is when she worked for the UFC. I don't think she was signed on to the UFC when he did this. I can't see that being possible. I think this is before.
What was he talking in reference to?
Yeah, she wasn't signed with the UFC.
He said she walked up like in a
Yeah,
dress.
this is at an award show he was talking. And Dana White looks noticeably younger here, too. Now, listen to this.
Yeah, did you see his eyebrows are all the way like down the side of his eyes?
Yeah, he actually has a shape to his face. So this is Joe Rogan on his broadcast.
Before you have Cyborg have her first fight in the UFC, have Tony roast her.
That'd be amazing. I don't even know where I'd begin. Where would I start? Probably
her dick.
She's the only person.
Where would I start? And Joe Rogan goes, her dick. Now, this is the guy that does the play-by-play for the UFC. I mean,
unbelievable.
Now,
the cuts weight by chopping off her dick.
Watch Dana White again.
When I saw her at the MMA Awards, she looked like Vanderlei Silva in a dress and heels. And she did. Didn't she not? Who wants to dispute that she didn't look like Vanderlei? She got up and she was like walking up the stairs.
I mean,
Such an asshole, man. He's such a fucking asshole.
okay, so now I've defended Dana White a lot before. It's getting tougher for me to defend because the UFC keeps on attacking us. But I've defended Dana White saying that he is a good promoter, and I still stand by Dana White being a good promoter when it comes to me wanting to watch a fight as a fan.
Yes.
Okay? So as a fan, yes, I love what Dana White does. I want to watch his press conferences, and I am not really mad at Dana White.
Right.
Okay? I'm not mad at Dana White in any way. But the UFC as a whole, I think, is a complete big piece of shit organization. And Dana White works for this company. He works for this company. And, I mean, you see a video like that, right? And Cris Cyborg didn't have to sign with the UFC. I'm assuming this was before she signed. So she didn't have to sign with the UFC after this happened.
Well, she probably didn't see that before she signed.
I'm sure she did. She didn't
If
care.
she saw that, if any woman saw that, they wouldn't have signed. I bet she didn't see it. She signed and then she saw it post-signing.
Yeah. Well, let's go over to the news. Let's start off over here. And Cris Cyborg
Paul Fay, you know.
is in the news. And shout out to Paul Fay. And let's see.
Yes.
Let's see what Cris Cyborg has to say. We're going to get to the chat. We want to get your thoughts on if Cyborg is going to return.
All right, well, Cris Cyborg accused UFC's Dana White of bullying her, according to the Bleacher Report, saying he never said he's sorry. Cris Cyborg has accused UFC President Dana White of bullying her. Cyborg spoke after beating Felicia Spencer at UFC 240 on Saturday in the final fight of her contract with the company. Per MMA Fighting's Damon Martin, she said, quote, "A lot of things going on, having a lot of issues, me and the UFC. I'm not complaining about anything, but it's not just the fight. Because the people, the media, don't see the things inside, but a lot of things have to work on for me to continue to stay. Everybody knows that I don't have the best relationship with the UFC. I don't have the best relationship with Dana White. He's bullying me around, bullying me on the internet. I suffer bullying everywhere because of this. He never said he's sorry to me about this." Per ESPN's Brett Okamoto, White suggested the 34-year-old might want to leave the UFC in search of easier fights rather than face a rematch with two-division champ Amanda Nunes. However, per Martin, Cyborg said that is not the case. She said, quote, "He's saying I'm scared to fight Amanda Nunes, saying I don't want to fight her. This is a liar because I text him after the fight saying I want the rematch. This does not help me growing my brand. This is damage for my brand. And for keeping me working for promotion, I don't want somebody damaging my brand. I want to grow together." She added that while she does not need to love White to remain with the UFC, there needs to be respect between the pair. Cyborg has been with the UFC since 2016 and won 6 of her 7 fights in that time. Her only UFC defeat came against Nunes in December last year, a first-round knockout in which Cyborg lost her featherweight title. Nunes also holds the bantamweight belt. She has not lost since her defeat to Kat Zingano in 2014, picking up wins over the likes of Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, and Holly Holm in the years since.
All right. So I'm going to give my opinion. I want Jesse's opinion on this, and then I'm going to ask the chat. Okay. I want Cris Cyborg to sign a one-off contract. She's what, 30? I don't know how old she is.
All right.
She's 30, what, 4 or something like that?
I'm not entirely sure.
Let me look her up. She's 30-something. Cris Cyborg.
You want me to look it up for you?
I got it right here.
Wonderful.
There she is. There's a young Cris Cyborg. She is 34. Okay, so I was right.
Oh,
34
still
years
young
old.
for the game.
Well, I mean, for a female, it's a little different, and her body's been through a lot. You know, the juicing, and then like she's really worked that body pretty hard. You gotta think it's gonna start breaking down eventually.
Right. Yeah.
But 34 years old, 21-2. I love watching her fight. I if she can stay in the UFC and keep competing, I will watch every one of her fights. I will pay for every one of her pay-per-views. I enjoy Cris Cyborg a lot. I really do. I want to see her fight Amanda Nunes in the rematch. I wanted to beat Amanda Nunes, fingers crossed, and that's not a layup. And then I want her to just ride off into the sunset. No rubber match. I wanted to take her belt and ride off and do her PFL, do her Bellator, wherever's going to make the most money. Go to WWE. Make your fucking money over there. Take the belt like a badass and get the fuck out.
Right.
Get out of Dodge. Don't let the UFC treat you like this anymore. That's what I want. Just what do you want?
WWE, though?
I don't watch WWE, but I want her to get paid. I want her to get paid.
So, here's my opinion. I agree that her body is taking a toll because of everything that she's been through in the past, but I still think she's still young. If she signs a one-fight deal and she wins that title, I have a feeling that Cyborg's the type of fighter who's not just going to let that one-fight deal go. If she gets the title, then she stays in. She'll re-sign for a couple more fights. If she does not win the title, I do think she will leave, but not to WWE. I think she's going to go somewhere like Bellator or ONE FC like Eddie Alvarez did, or like Demetrius Johnson did, or like Lyoto Machida did. I think she's going to do one of those things. She's going to move over to an organization that can still give her the same competition, but treat her a little bit more respectfully than the way the UFC has treated her.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, you go to these other organizations, Cyborg is going to mutilate everybody. You know, in this UFC, they can find the pieces to give her a little bit of trouble. But she is getting older now. I mean, being a selfish fan, I would love to see her just retire an MMA fighter and fight wherever, you know, or in the UFC. I would like to see that on the biggest stage, of course. But I just think it would be such a badass move to just smash Amanda Nunes, right? Take that belt, throw it over her shoulder.
Do you think she'll smash Amanda
and be
Nunes?
like, I think I'm going to retire now, and take her gloves off and throw it, put it on the mat, and say, fuck you, Dana White, and your fucking big pink face, you fucking roly-poly looking motherfucker. Like, and just walk out there and just say,
This is number one bullshit.
Like, I would love that. But
here's my question. Do you genuinely think that Cyborg can beat Amanda Nunes in the rematch?
It's not a layup in any way. She got mutilated the first time. But if she can kind of pull back a little bit and round out her game plan instead of just go in there and brawl. You can't brawl Amanda Nunes. Right. Not only is Amanda Nunes powerful, but she's accurate. And she's fast, of course. She's got the speed. She's got the power, the accuracy. I mean, bing, bing, bing. She just could pick you apart with that power. And Cyborg just fell into the trap. She started swinging like a monkey. You can't do that.
I genuinely think that in that fight, Cyborg did not have any respect for Amanda Nunes' power or her strategy. I think Cyborg went in there the same way she goes in with a lot of fights thinking, I've got this, I have nothing to worry about, and she didn't defend herself the way that she normally would have. I honestly don't think she had respect for Nunes in the fight. So if she goes into the fight a second time around, she'll go in as smarter, more strategic, and with a lot more respect. And I think that's going to come to her advantage and help her win that second fight.
I think she did respect Nunes tremendously. I think she got clipped and got hurt and then was just swinging like crazy. She went into autopilot. That's why I think she totally respected Amanda Nunes. I mean, she knows Nunes is a beast. I don't think she's that stupid. I think she did get clipped and she just started swinging for the fences. Kind of like what Cody Garbrandt's done a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
like
Garbrandt,
he gets clipped and goes into monkey mode. Yeah, but what happens is he gets hurt and then he goes into fucking...
Look at what... Here's the thing. It's easy to say, oh, he went into monkey mode when he was fighting TJ 2 times.
No, not just TJ.
Look at when he fought Pedro Munoz. That was reckless. That was straight up recklessness.
Because he got clipped.
No, I don't think it was. I think he got clipped out of recklessness.
Yeah, I disagree.
I feel like he had no respect for his opponent.
There are times where he showboats in there, but every time Cody Garbrandt gets into trouble, it's when he's reckless. That's when he does. When he gets clipped. You notice he'll get clipped and he'll be like, what, and just like, and that macho bravado comes out, and then he just starts swinging and shit, and that's when he gets knocked out. Like, you see a lot of fighters do that. And honestly, if I had any skill to fight, I'd probably be the same fucking way. Yeah. If I'm my head's spinning, I'm like, let's go, you know. And then boop, boop, I'm on the floor drooling all over my tits. I don't know. Anyway, we can't give Cris Cyborg advice because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about over here. Let's see what the chat says though. What is next for Cris Cyborg as we are acting casual as fuck?
Mark Jackson says, did JBH take the $250K job?
Yes, actually, yeah. This is her last day.
What do you guys think about that guy? The moment I read that, wait, you read the message first, right?
No, we got sent to us from the marketing team. They sent it over, and then
no, but you were the first one to read it.
Yeah,
I didn't read it.
Yeah, well, I read it. I'm like, I'm posting this. This is hilarious. This guy's a fucking retard. But anyway, let's not give him. What do you give him airtime for? He got his community. He got his 5 seconds.
Internal says Maker Money do chronic all the lower belt fighters in 2 belt fights. 1 Clint W. The UFC law. Vigo says Vigo Stockholm, you must want to kill yourself. Noah Velez, what a bully. Post resurrected. Who wrote that? Well, it doesn't matter. Dan says Cyborg's next battle will be with her clitoris reduction surgery. Raymond Knight, I love her to death. Cyborg BKFC says Infinite Conscious.
Oh, God, how great would that be, right?
Says Bellator before Cyborg. UFC doesn't, and I missed the rest. My apologies. Ovidio Mejas says Cyborg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Champ.
This is number one
she doesn't like that one.
Roberto Lopez says Cyborg to WWE, and Cyborg will defeat Nunez in a rematch and run off into the sunset. Fuck yeah. Ty Bear, I'm sure if Cyborg beats Amanda, they will have a rematch clause. Devin Jackson, UFC, hopefully. Nader says, I never noticed how skinny and small Cyborg's arms are. La Vigo says, Vigo Stockholm's nose. Indeed.
You can't stop the Siberian Express.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
We got Vladimir coming in.
Best case scenario. Dana White, well, you won the rematch. Time for a third fight, right? Cyborg, fuck you, Dana Pink. Your bald pink ass looks like my ball sack. I'm going to Bellator.
Dana Pink.
It is the best scenario. That is the best scenario. If she does a Stipe Miocic, and she's like, give me that fucking belt, and she, get out of here, you pink piece of shit, and she puts the belt around herself.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, fuck you, I retire. She fucking drops the glove. Instead of putting the gloves on the mat, she takes her gloves off one at a time and she fucking flings it into the crowd.
Or
right?
flings it at Dana's face.
Or just slaps them back and forth like a French, like, oui, oui, there's that. I don't know. I really hope she humiliates Dana White.
Yeah.
That would be the greatest. Dana White, the way he's saying, well, she doesn't want that fight. She doesn't want this. She doesn't want that. Apparently, the situation is they're offering her bullshit contracts to fight Amanda Nunez.
Yes.
That's what's happening here.
Yes.
It's not that she's turning down the fight. She's turning down the bullshit contracts that Dana White's throwing onto her lap. Pay the girl. And I hope that Cris Cyborg gets that fight. One fight. Cris Cyborg, if you're watching this, and I know you do watch the MMA Holes, we love you to death. You're the best. We make fun of your voice. You might have a penis. Who knows? Who cares?
Bullshit.
It's your thing, Chris.
This is number one bullshit.
But we got the same name. You know, you and me, we got a thing. You have beautiful eyes, beautiful high cheekbones with an Adam's apple. I'm into it. One contract, Chris. One contract you need to sign. Beat Amanda Nunez and flip off the UFC. Right, Jess?
Yes.
Preach, Mystic. Preach. What do you think of my shirt here, Jesse?
I think it's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So these shirts over here.
I nailed it.
Thank you. Okay, that was terrible. These
What?
shirts.
It says wonderful, wonderful, and I said I
Yes.
think it's
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. These shirts over here are promotional shirts. So basically, if you want to get one of these shirts, you have to meet us at an event. We'll be at Triton Fights this Friday. So if you're on Long Island, we'll be doing the play-by-play. And we will have these shirts available on Long Island. And we'll let you guys know more about that as the week progresses. And we're going to be doing giveaways with it. And they're only special edition shirts over here.
Yes.
So if you want to get a hold of these, either message us or we'll tell you ways where you can get it. Okay. Ready, Jesse?
Ready, Moss.
We have a lot of shit to get to.
Okay.
And if you're just jumping in, our channel is back, motherfuckers. We're back. Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, here we go.
I'm sorry.
What happened? What just happened?
I have no idea, to be quite honest.
Yeah, she was like,
No, I was in it. and then you switch over to news, and I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be reading the news now?
all right, so here's the deal, Jesse. Regroup, and let's beat up the ceiling. Let's give Jesse time. It's been a rough weekend. Shout out to the peoples.
I've got 50 likes.
Bounce it.
You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You've got 50 likes. We've got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes.
Yes.
The dislikes can choke on a dick.
Okay, before we get into the news, too, well, you still have a chance to regroup.
Yeah,
Good?
no, I'm good. Yeah, I know where we are. Like, I knew where we were. And then when it got to the point where I was supposed to actually read it, like, I don't know what happened.
Is that what happened? You went to Area 51 for a second?
I don't know where I went,
Okay.
but it was for like a split second.
Yeah. Well, so real quick, before we do get into the news, I just want to say this. Our patrons, shout out to our patrons. We still have this up over here. We're going to be doing this on Wednesday, on the Wednesday show. So if you are a patron, just let us know, why are you proud to be an MMA hole? Make it tight and simple. And Jesse's going to choose the best one that she feels. She's not going to look at the names of who wrote it. I saw the submissions, and Pulse did it like 3 times. So if you think about it, it's only 10 comments on here. So there's a good chance of winning the mega package of BetDSI, Timeless CBD, Real Bearded Men, and our swag. So you have a good shot. If you're a patron, drop it over there. Say, why are you proud to be an MMA hole? All right, Jesse, you ready?
I'm ready, Moss.
That's it. Get good.
All right, according to BJPenn.com, Max Holloway responds to Dana White closing the door on the lightweight run. UFC President Dana White isn't interested in seeing Max Holloway compete at lightweight again, but Blessed is up for the challenge. Holloway was seen in action this past Saturday night. He put the featherweight gold on the line against Frankie Edgar in the main event of UFC 240. The bout went to the distance, and Holloway was able to find his range and thwart takedown attempts to snag a unanimous decision victory. It's Holloway's third successful title defense. During UFC 240 post-fight press conference, UFC President Dana White was asked about Holloway potentially getting another fight at lightweight. White said that Holloway's loss to Dustin Poirier back in April should have shut the door on that idea. He said, quote, I think his last performance at 55 ends the conversation of him going up to 55. I used to think that he looked big at 45, and then I realized how small he looked at 55. Holloway responded to White's comments, poking fun at the UFC president in the process. He said, quote, Dana changes his mind every day. Tomorrow he might be like, hey, Max, we need a heavyweight fight. So I don't know. Dana's mind is all over the place. I got to respect the boss, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I know if an opportunity comes up there and they come calling, we won't shy away. Holloway has gone 14-1 in his last 15 outings. The lone loss in his current stretch, as mentioned, was to Poirier in a failed bid for the interim 155-pound gold. Holloway is currently on a 13-fight winning streak as a featherweight. The streak isn't at 14, as one of the bouts was contested at a catchweight of 149 pounds. Do you think Dana White will change his mind and allow Max Holloway to fight at lightweight in the future?
All right. So Dana White flip-flopping once again, and good for Maxie Boy calling him out over there. Max Holloway winning that fight against Frankie Edgar. Some people don't like the fact that Frankie Edgar got the shot. I wasn't too upset about it. Frankie, made it tough, but not that tough. Max Holloway did everything he had to do to get the decision, get the win, and coast to another title defense. So now the next question is who's next, and we all know who that is.
Who do you think that is, Moss?
That's Mr. Volkanovski. That's right.
Well, I have a story on that, Moss.
Yeah, why don't we get to it?
All right. Well, it's a couple stories down, so you're going to have to skip 2 stories and go down to Alexander Volkanovski.
Sure, certainly.
According to MMA Fighting, Alexander Volkanovski is confident he will dethrone Max Holloway after watching his fight with Frankie Edgar. Deep down inside, Alexander Volkanovski knew he should have been fighting Max Holloway at UFC 240 on Saturday night, but rather than sulk about it, he flew halfway around the world just to get a front row seat to watch the action unfold. Holloway earned a unanimous decision victory over perennial contender Frankie Edgar to defend his featherweight title for the 3rd consecutive time. Time and time again, Holloway made Edgar pay by using his long reach and active striking attack as he busted up the New Jersey native's nose and had him in serious trouble a couple of times over the course of 25 minutes. While Holloway ultimately earned a lopsided decision, Volkanovski believes the fight was much closer than the scores indicated. Volkanovski has stated several times that he believes he's a nightmare matchup for Holloway, and his conviction was only strengthened after watching the fight against Edgar unfold. With a similar stature as Edgar in terms of height and reach, Volkanovski wouldn't have many physical advantages over Holloway, but he believes the way he approaches a fight against a taller opponent would be the difference. It's hard to argue with Volkanovski's logic considering the resume he's amassed thus far in the UFC career. He's a 7-0 overall with 3 knockouts on his resume, but more importantly, he finished former title contender Chad Mendes and then earned a unanimous decision victory over former champion Jose Aldo in his last performance. That fight alone should answer any questions about Volkanovski's legitimacy as a threat to Holloway's title reign, but he's more than happy to prove it once he's finally given the chance. As far as the timing goes for the fight, Volkanovski wants to face Holloway at the upcoming UFC 243 card slated for October 5th in his native Australia. The card will take place in a 60,000-seat stadium in Melbourne, with the middleweight title unification bout headlining as Robert Whittaker faces off with Israel Adesanya. Volkanovski would love nothing more than to join that card in the co-main event against Holloway, and he's hoping for the featherweight champion will accept this challenge. He said, quote, "It would be a a blockbuster event. We'd break records. For our part of the world, it would be huge. I want it to be part of it. Hopefully, Max does too. Let's make it happen.
I like Volkanovski. I think he's a tough cat. I really do. And he could be a little bit more difficult than the Frankie fight. But nope, Max all day. I mean, Max has got to be like, yeah, I'll take out this midget. I'll have no problem with this guy. That's what I'm thinking. Now, Volkanovski, he can grapple, but so can Frankie, man. Even though Frankie's, 37 years old, that too can grapple. And if you think that Volkanovski is going to get Max down and lay on him, I do not see that happening in any way. I see Maxie all day, but make it happen. This is the fight that should go down. So Volkanovski versus Holloway, 145. Make it happen, Dana. I'm with it.
Make it happen, Dana.
Who do you think wins in that fight, Jess?
Ooh. Volkanovski's so good.
He is good. He's very good. PBR Street Gang with the 499.
Hi, guys, and hello to all the wonderful, wonderful people out there.
Wonderful.
Hello. No, you gotta do the princess wave, Moss.
Why can't I do the Vulcan? Why can't I do that? Can you do that?
You just gotta do this.
Can you do the Vulcan?
Wait, you just gotta do this, and you go.
Why do I have to do that?
This is the princess
You
way.
can do the princess, and I'm gonna do the Vulcan. Can you do this with your fingers? Some people can't.
I can
you
do it both.
Very good. Oh, look at that. Double Vulcan. Volkanovski.
How many people can do it with both? Can you do it with both?
Can you scissor with them? There you go. Good girl.
Wait, can you do it with both?
Wonderful.
Yes, I can do it with both.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, that's not...
Wait, Moss. This is the ultimate test.
What? What is the ultimate test?
Do it with both.
What? We only got an hour show here. What are you doing?
No, do it with both.
I'll tell you what. If people save
Where's
the show,
the alien music?
if people save the show, we'll get weird with your Vulcan high fives.
You ruined my bit. I was gonna put on the alien music and then
Okay, if people save the show, we'll do that weird. We'll get weird. We'll take phone calls. We'll get weird. But we only have 15 minutes left in this goddamn thing. Volkanovski or Max Holloway? Who you got?
I'm gonna say Volkanovski.
Volkanovski for the win. Chat room, what do you say, Max or Volkanovski?
I'm not lost again. I was just having a little fun. Jeez. All right. Vigo says, you guys think Cris does domestic violence on Jessie?
I do, actually, yeah. I beat her before every show. You can see the scars on her back.
All right. Vlad Dingus says, is that a gang sign, Ann? Rakim Hussein, the Vulcan. Vlad says, Max. Jonas G, Max. Medgas Guy, Max. Chop, I have these nuts. Drunk Savage, Mike S. Volk used to be fat as fuck. Val says, Uncle Volk. Roberto Lopez, Max, if he is not concussed. Skullcrackers. Whoa. I just had some.
What happened?
Some chicken Parmesan stuffed peppers repeat on me for a minute.
It's delicious. Blow it into the mic so they can all smell it. There you go. Enjoy, friends. Enjoy. All right, let's do this.
Guys.
We got some sponsors to get to, and I hope you guys won some big money this weekend. We didn't, but we know a place where you can place a bet for any sport. And where is it, Jesse?
Just because you're not in Vegas doesn't mean you can't bet on MMA and UFC. BetDSI offers online wagering and has been paying winners for 20 years. Use the link in the description with promo code MMA-Hole, all one word, and get up to 100% bonus match, as well as $25 as a welcome bonus today. BetDSI also offers betting options on everything, including NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and all the major sports, politics, reality TV, esports. Virtually everything. We play there ourselves and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to the fights or any other sports you are watching. Once again, go to BetDSI with the link in the description below and use promo code MMA-Hole and get this limited time 100% bonus offer, as well as $25 as a welcome bonus to make some extra cash on the sports you know and love. It's only a game until you bet it at BetDSI.
Yeah, promo code MMA-Hole, friends. Everybody relax. Once again, I had those BCAAs today.
Did you?
Magnifique.
I thought it was magnifico.
I go magnifique.
Magnifico.
I think that's the Spanish way of... what?
Magnifico. Timeless CBD sees a gap in the industry between quality and affordability. All of Timeless CBD's products are carefully handmade at their facility. Each and every batch is third-party tested. This is a CBD company that strives to make top-notch products at prices people can afford. Visit Timeless CBD with the link in the description and get your hands on only the best CBD products, such as gummies, oils, pain salves, freezes, BCAAs, and more.
We got a super chat coming in.
Whoa.
Props for not letting these bullies push you around.
Woo!
Yeah! Fuck the bullies!
Overcoming his death.
Fuck the bullies!
Wonderful.
By the way, I saw in the chat, I think Vigo said it. He's like, the show would be better if Jay Smooth called in. Why doesn't Jay Smooth call in?
You know why?
Why?
Well, do you want me to go there?
Do you think he's like, I'm too big time now. I have my own show.
I have my own show now.
I have my own show.
With my whole 10 watchers.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Wow.
I can't call into the MMA Holes anymore.
It doesn't matter how many watchers you have.
Moss, don't talk to me. I'm too good for you. I have my own show now.
Damn. Well, Jay Smooth.
Moss.
You should call in.
Why are you saying my name? I'm better than you.
Damn. Shit. God damn, JBH. Back to the ad. What the fuck was that? Oh, we got a super chat coming in. Jesus, Christmas. What do we got here?
Syndergaard looks to be going to the Yankees.
I know.
So yeah.
So, by the way, I was listening.
They're not gonna do it.
I was just gonna say I was listening. Who do we listen to that you've introduced me to? That radio talk show?
WFAM we listen to. Evan Roberts was talking.
No, it was the other guy.
Chris Carlin?
No.
All right, doesn't matter. They don't know.
Anyways, we listen to sports radio, and they don't think it's gonna happen. Syndergaard,
it's not gonna happen.
Thor is not going. He's staying at the Mets, but there is still some promise that he is leaving.
He can go to Houston. Or he's not going to the Yankees.
I was reading an article that the Mets are willing to trade pretty much anyone for money.
No, the Yankees have to give up a lot to get Syndergaard. That's the only way he's going to the Mets. So don't worry. He won't be wearing that shitty uniform.
It's scary. It's scary to
it's
think
not happening.
about.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole, friends. Let's try to get through this sponsor.
All right. We use Timeless CBD on a daily, and we haven't felt this good in years. Visit Timeless CBD with the link in the description and get your hands on only the best CBD products. Once again, that's Timeless CBD. Link in the description. Use promo code MMA-Hole for up to 20% off of your entire order.
There we go. Timeless CBD is wonderful, wonderful. Shout out to Real Bearded Men. We still got that promo code for you. 15% off. MMA-Hole. Get it done.
Wonderful.
Get it done.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So let's get back into the news. When 5 minutes are left in the show, you can save the show. We got 160 people hanging with the boys. Thank you for joining us, friends. And thank you again. If you're just jumping in, the channel has been saved. We got another strike from the UFC, and within the next day, because the community went cray-cray, we got it back. So thank you. This is a thank you show, and it's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, Jess. Uh-oh. Blowjob pen.
Blowjob pen. According to... Whoa. Did anybody else just hear that?
What happened?
My mic, like turned. Did you get? It sounded like a fart noise.
Yeah, it's.
You hear that?
It's amazing. And she says she's not a ditz. She really isn't. But there are some times where she's just having a good time.
I just practically almost got us a new sponsor today, Mom.
Yeah. All right.
What are you talking
You
about?
can't talk about that. I
Ditz.
told you. She just jinxed it. You better knock on wood. Anyway. Back into the news. She celebrates. She counts her eggs before the chickens before they hatch.
All right.
Oh, by the way, check out Craft Punch over here. We got Craft Punch. Link in the description if you want to get some custom swag for yourself. Craft Punch helped us out with our gear.
All right. According to MMA Junkie Triple Take, is there any sense to the UFC booking BJ Penn to fight again? Over the weekend, UFC President Dana White announced that BJ Penn, who is on a record 7-fight losing streak, will return to face Nick Lentz at an event to be determined. The decision to give the 40-year-old UFC Hall of Famer another fight comes after White determined last month that he can't do it again when it comes to booking Penn. And yet, here we are, and White swears this is it. So, what are we to make of Penn fighting again, and the UFC's decision to allow it? BJ Penn's place in UFC folklore is assured. He is a UFC Hall of Famer, a former 2-division champ, and one of the sport's first big stars of the Zuffa era. But history doesn't win. You fights in the here and now. The old adage says that Father Time is undefeated. He catches up with us all, and the sad truth is he got to Penn a good few years ago. He lost a UFC record 7 fights in a row. He won just once in his last 11, and that win came back in 2010 against Matt Hughes. So why, almost 9 years removed from Penn's last triumph, did Dana White agree to give him another fight? Clearly, White has a soft spot for Penn, given that the prodigy has done over the course of his career, that's no real surprise. But White's treatment of another of his longtime favorites, Chuck Liddell, seems markedly different from what's happening with Penn here. The problem with Liddell at the time was he was getting knocked out badly in fights, and White, to his credit, made the difficult decision to save Liddell from himself. It begs the question, why isn't he doing the same for Penn? Granted, Penn hasn't been getting knocked out in devastating fashion like Liddell was at the end of his career, but while Penn's granite chin may have held up, his reflexes haven't, and as a result, he's taking more shots to the head than he ever used to. Penn has avoided being spectacularly knocked out with one big shot, but the cumulative damage of repeated headshots must surely now be a concern. MMA Junkie's Mike Bone cited Penn as having received more than 1,300 head strikes during his UFC career. That's a record no fighter wants and a number nobody should ever want to see increased. White responds to reporters' concerns, telling any non-doctors at the UFC 240 news conference to mind your own business, what's flippant and unnecessary. In a week that saw the boxing world mourn the loss of two fighters due to brain injuries, the response certainly could have been a bit more measured. Despite his spiky response, we're sure White is acutely aware and perhaps even shares those concerns, which is why his decision to let Penn fight, again, is so bizarre.
Dana White won't let Nick Newell fight in the UFC because he's got 1.5 arms, right?
Yes.
And it's very dangerous because what would happen if someone beats up a man with 1.5 arms?
Right.
Nick Newell is 14-2, and he's nowhere near BJ Penn, what BJ Penn did in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
But the point I'm trying to make here is his point was he doesn't want to see him get hurt because what would happen? What would happen if BJ Penn got brain damage from this last and final fight? The fight that went down that should have never went down. Where the fight that 5 fights ago he probably should have stopped. I mean, no, I'm exaggerating. 3 or 4, you could have made an argument. But now definitely BJ Penn should not be fighting. What happens if BJ Penn seriously gets hurt? Everything that you said about Nick Newell not being able to fight in the UFC, right?
Yes.
And something happens to BJ Penn, what makes it any different?
What do you mean what happens though? Like
Dana
he's
White
practically retired, this guy.
Dana White should not let this man fight.
Agreed.
There's no reason that this fight should happen.
Agreed.
And he's said multiple times in press conferences, that's it. That's
right.
Enough for BJ Penn. Is BJ Penn giving him a fucking blowjob underneath the desk, underneath the table over there? Like, what's going on here?
Now, even though they said that BJ Penn took more head strikes than any other fighter in the UFC, I mean, that's a serious concern right there. That's 1,400 head strikes is insane.
What about the shit he's doing outside of the cage?
That's exactly where I was going with this.
Yeah, what about that?
Like,
clearly has a problem.
Threatening your fucking neighbor with a machete.
Machete? Threatening your fucking neighbor with a machete. There's the Hispanic coming out.
Sound like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, going after your wife, beating your wife, having
with a what?
multiple with the machete.
Machete.
Having multiple accusations of domestic abuse against your wife. I mean, the fucking beating the bouncer outside of that club. Like, this guy has serious problems. Yes, Eric, I am Hispanic on my mother's side. He has some serious problems, and having taken more head strikes than any other UFC fighter is a huge red flag. This guy is not stable enough nor healthy enough to be put in another fight, and I think it's a huge mistake by Dana White. I agree with you on that. It's just, what does he have to lose? Absolutely nothing, because he's practically retired right now.
What do you mean, what does he have to lose? What are you talking
Absolutely nothing.
Who? What are you talking about?
BJ Penn.
He has to lose his life. He could lose his fucking brain cells. What do you mean? Absolutely nothing.
His brain cells, maybe, but I honestly, I think at this point, Dana White doesn't care. He's looking for money.
I think Dana just gave up. Like,
you think he's just filling?
Is Nick Lentz versus BJ Penn a big money fight? No, not in any way. This fight does not have to happen. There is no logical reason for this fight to happen. Maybe he owes BJ Penn money, Dana White. Maybe that's what it is. And he doesn't want to pay him.
No. I think
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Jesse, take everything seriously, Hill. No, maybe. I mean, think about it. It doesn't make. There is no good. You could throw anything at me, and I could not say, "Oh, that's a good reason why Dana White's letting this fight happen." There's no reason. There's literally no reason.
That Dana White just needs a filler.
A filler?
Yeah.
You could get any can off the street to fill into a fight.
Maybe
They're putting this fight together.
Maybe this is the best filler for him because it accommodates to the MMA audience.
Let's
Did
get
you
your
ever think of
thoughts.
That? Everybody knows who BJ Penn is. Everybody wants to see BJ Penn fight, whether he's a fucking mashed potato in his brain or not. So Dana White's going to capitalize on that. Healthy or not, Dana White doesn't give a fuck. You really think he gives a fuck?
Well, that's the point. There's
Exactly.
no reason for him to make this fight. So if there's no reason for him to make this fight, if he doesn't owe BJ money or a BJ, and he doesn't want to give him the BJ, then yes, he's doing it for selfish reasons.
Yes.
He's being a complete cunt. There is no reason for this fight to happen. It's legit dangerous at this state. Here's the deal. Let's start the clock at 5 minutes because we started a couple minutes late. I said, here's the deal. Let's extend the show to see how spacey she gets. Dramatic song.
No, it's a joke. It was a joke.
Oh, there is a deal.
There's a deal? You said here's the deal? Never mind. You didn't get it.
It's good. It's back there. Just pick it back up. It flew over my head. All right. So here's the deal.
Deal or no deal?
The clock has begun. 5 minutes on the clock. We'd love to get your calls about all these situations here. And how you save the show is with a donation. Say, save the show. That amount is that much we go longer. If there's no donation when this clock is up, we're atty. But if there is a donation, we go that much longer. $5, 5 minutes, $10, 10 minutes, and so on and so forth. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's see what the chat says about Blowjob Pen.
What does the chat say?
I swear to God, I'm going to heaven. If there's a heaven, I am going.
Just not have fun.
Yeah, I know.
All right. That dude says hopefully BJ
Oh my God. I can't wait until like 10 years down the road you watch these videos and you're like, what the hell what am I doing?
I just trying to like have some fun here.
Yeah,
Boost
you are having
people's
fun.
spirits, I
That
guess.
is good. My spirit is definitely up.
I don't know. All right.
God help me. I kind of hope no one saves the show tonight. All right.
Val says this was a fun song. Ship for a dog to show. How did you two meet? Over YouTube. But Skoker says nice singing, JP.
We're going to get a strike because Jesse was so close to what did the fox say? It was dead on.
Roberta says, my girlfriend still is not home and I re-barbecued the chicken. He re-barbecued the chicken.
Yeah.
I hope you guys don't get another strike. I'll miss Jesse, says Rev 6. Oh, that's so nice of you. I'm missing LOL, that didn't sound like Jesse.
Yeah, I don't know. She's possessed.
Jessica G is gone. She is gone, unfortunately. Unfortunadad. I don't know if that's how you say it, but
yeah, she was the show saver.
Unfortunately.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes left to save the show. Let's see if the chat does it. All right. Back into the chat. But I want to know, BJ Penn, Dana White, let me know. What is the deal? Is he going to, why is Dana White making this fight happen? Doesn't make any sense.
Right. Chop says, we're just going to ignore the JBH queefed. I queefed this morning when I woke up.
2 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock. And
kidding. All right.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm just having fun.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
I'm just.
You know what you remind me of when like it's the end of the night.
I'm just trying to boost up spirits because we've been through a lot. Like.
Yeah, I know. No, it's listen, have fun. I'm just horsing around with you. It just reminds me of like at the end of the night where like all the girls are stumbling out of the bar, like all drunk, like, yeah, man, what does the fox say? And they're all grabbing each other, like, oh my, Jane, did you hear that? She said, what did the fox say? I know, it's so funny. Like that's what it's reminding me of right now.
No, I'm just trying to like boost
yeah, I know,
spirits.
I'm just fucking with you.
I don't know. Whatever.
I know, I'm just horsing with you.
Can someone save the show? I think I might do a gaming stream tonight. Oh, I'm just kidding. Anyways. Drunk Savage says we need.
What was that? Oh my! I swear to God.
No, like.
All right. Anyway, 1 minute and 23 seconds left. If someone wants to save the show, save it. If not, it's fine. We'll see you on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the Contender Series.
Yeah.
And she's a little off, so we're gonna heavily medicate you.
I'm not off. I was just.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, just like you're here. You're having a good time, and that's fun. That is fun. I do like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop talking now.
That's all right. All right, 1 minute on the clock. Last second comment from the chat. Let's see.
Eric David Gamer says, what's the gaming challenge? Bosco are laughing in the chat. Flatter thinking, can you take a few calls? The MMA holes. Bagel boy Chris Morgan says, Chris, why did you turn down your girlfriend's push-up challenge?
Ross, here's the deal. I didn't want to do it. And that's it. Yeah, sorry. Hate to break it to you. All right, so here's the deal. We're gonna be live again for the Contender Series tomorrow. 5 fantastical fights. We'll be live for the Wednesday show, and we'll be live on Friday at Triton Fights. We got some funny stuff coming up this week with Triton Fights. We're gonna be doing the play-by-play. You pumped?
Super pumped.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing the play-by-play, and we are going to be showing the fights here on the MMA Holes this Friday. No Fuqua Friday, so this Friday you get to take a break and you get to hang with the boys for Triton Fights. Jesse, say those magical words. The time is up. No save the show, but that's okay. We still love these MMA holes. Do it.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.